The Unseen Dose. In a small, quaint town, there lived a curious young girl named Olivia. She had a loving family, and she was particularly close to her grandmother, who lived with them. Her grandmother had been suffering from high blood pressure for quite some time now and took medication to manage her condition. One sunny afternoon, Olivia's parents were away at work, and she was spending time with her grandmother. As her grandmother took her daily blood pressure pills, Olivia couldn't help but wonder, what would happen if she took one of these magical pills herself? In her mind, they seemed like tiny superheroes, protecting her grandmother from harm. As soon as her grandmother left the room, Olivia seized the opportunity to investigate the pills. One by one, she took them out of the bottle and examined them closely. They looked so harmless, like little candies. Before she knew it, she had impulsively swallowed one down. Unknown to Olivia and her grandmother, the effects of the pill began to take hold gradually. About 30 minutes after swallowing the pill, Olivia started to feel a bit off. At first, it was just a slight dizziness, something she thought might pass. She continued playing, but the feeling persisted and slowly intensified. After about 45 minutes, Olivia's dizziness grew worse, and she began to feel lightheaded. Her vision started to blur, making it difficult for her to focus on anything. She tried to shake it off, but the symptoms only worsened. In just an hour, Olivia's condition declined drastically. Her grandmother found the open bottle of pills and wondered if Olivia had consumed any of them. Olivia felt an overwhelming sense of weakness, her heart slower than usual. Panic set in as she realized something was seriously wrong. She stumbled into the living room, her movements unsteady and her breathing labored. Her grandmother, noticing Olivia's distress, rushed to her side. Seeing her granddaughter's pale face and unfocused eyes, she immediately knew something was terribly wrong. With trembling hands, she called 911, her voice filled with fear and urgency as she explained the situation to the operator. The Emergency Medical Services, EMS, arrived quickly, assessing Olivia's condition and rushing her to the nearest small hospital. As they wheeled her into the emergency room, Olivia's heart suddenly stopped. The medical staff sprang into action, performing CPR on her fragile body. Every second felt like an eternity. After a lengthy period of performing CPR, the medical teams were able to regain a pulse. Despite their best efforts, the hospital staff realized that Olivia needed specialized care. They made the decision to call for a life flight to transport her to a larger hospital with advanced facilities. As the helicopter approached, the whirring of its blades filled the air, drowning out everything else. Olivia's grandmother had arrived by this time and clutched her hand tightly, whispering words of love and encouragement. Tears streamed down her face as she prayed with all her heart that her precious granddaughter would pull through this terrifying ordeal. Her voice trembled with emotion, each word a plea for Olivia's recovery. As the life flight team carefully loaded Olivia onto the helicopter, her grandmother took one last look at her brave little girl. She whispered, "Stay strong, my love," her voice breaking with the weight of her emotions. With that, the helicopter lifted off, carrying Olivia towards the life-saving care she so desperately needed. The townspeople looked on, their hearts heavy with concern, but filled with hope for Olivia's recovery. As the life flight disappeared into the horizon, the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the town. It was as if nature itself was offering a promise that no matter how challenging the times, there would always be a new dawn waiting to bring light and hope once again. As the helicopter soared through the sky, the life flight team consisting of a skilled paramedic and a dedicated nurse, worked tirelessly to stabilize Olivia's condition. The duo monitored her vital signs, ensuring that she received the necessary oxygen and medications. In the tight cabin, the paramedic and nurse exchanged glances, silently communicating while working to save Olivia. They had seen countless patients in critical conditions before, but something about this young girl's spirit touched them deeply. It was as if her strength and determination radiated from her fragile body, willing her to survive. Olivia's mind drifted in and out of consciousness, her thoughts a blur of memories and dreams. She could feel the steady vibrations of the helicopter beneath her and the gentle touch of the paramedic and nurse working to keep her alive. Somewhere deep inside, she knew that her grandmother's love was with her, providing her with the strength to fight for her life. As the helicopter neared its destination, the cityscape came into view, guiding the way to salvation. The pilot expertly maneuvered the aircraft, touching down on the helipad atop the larger hospital. The life flight team carefully transferred Olivia onto a gurney and swiftly moved her into the hospital. Inside, the doctors took over, their eyes filled with hope and determination. The paramedic and nurse shared a solemn nod with the doctors, knowing that Olivia's journey was far from over, but they had done everything in their power to give her a fighting chance. As the helicopter lifted off once more, returning to the skies, the paramedic and nurse couldn't help but think of Olivia and her brave spirit. They knew that her story would stay with them forever, a reminder of the preciousness of life and the power of hope. Departing into the sky, they quietly wished her the best, recognizing the deep impression she had left on them. Olivia was immediately taken to a specialized pediatric intensive care unit, where a team of highly skilled doctors and nurses were waiting to attend to her. They quickly assessed her condition and determined the best course of action to reverse the effects of the blood pressure pills she had ingested. Working together, they administered the appropriate treatments to counteract the drug's impact on Olivia's body. Hours passed as they monitored her progress closely, observing every change in her vital signs and adjusting their approach accordingly. Olivia's grandmother replayed every moment of the day, wondering how she hadn't noticed Olivia's interest in the pills. The thought of losing her granddaughter over something so preventable was almost too much to bear. Gradually, Olivia's heart rate stabilized and her blood pressure returned to normal levels. The color returned to her cheeks and her breathing grew steady and even. The medical team was amazed by her incredible recovery, as it was rare for patients with such critical conditions to bounce back so quickly. As the days went by, Olivia continued to regain her strength. Her family, especially her grandmother, stayed by her side throughout this challenging time, offering love, support, and encouragement. The hospital staff marveled at the young girl's resilience and determination, attributing her remarkable recovery to her unwavering spirit. Soon, Olivia was well enough to be discharged from the hospital. As she left the building, she was greeted by the warm sunlight which seemed to celebrate her victory over adversity. Her family and the medical team exchanged heartfelt goodbyes, knowing that they had witnessed a true miracle. Take-home points. The safety and well-being of our children are of paramount importance, and one crucial aspect of ensuring their protection is preventing their unsupervised access to medications. With the ever-increasing prevalence of prescription and over-the-counter drugs in modern households, it is essential to be vigilant about medication storage, usage, and disposal. Unintentional ingestion of these substances can lead to severe health consequences, including life-threatening emergencies and long-term complications. By proactively implementing strategies to keep medications out of children's reach and educating them about the potential dangers, we can significantly reduce the risk of accidental poisonings and foster a secure environment for our young ones to grow and thrive. Store medications securely. Keep all medications, including over-the-counter drugs, vitamins, and supplements, in a locked cabinet or out of reach of children. Child-resistant containers are not foolproof, so it's essential to store them safely. Keep medications in their original containers. This helps avoid confusion between different types of medications and allows you to quickly identify the contents in case of an emergency. Educate children about medication safety. Teach children that medications are not candy and should only be taken when given by an adult. Explain the importance of taking medicine as prescribed and the potential dangers of ingesting unknown substances. Be vigilant during travel or visits. When staying at someone else's home or traveling, ensure that medications are stored securely and out of sight. Don't leave medications in purses, bags, or countertops where children can easily access them. Dispose of expired or unused medications properly. Follow local guidelines for disposing of medications, such as taking them to a pharmacy or designated drop-off location. Do not flush medications down the toilet or throw them in the trash, as this can lead to contamination of water supplies and harm wildlife. Be prepared for emergencies. Keep the Poison Control Center's phone number, 1-800-222-1222 in the United States, saved in your phone and posted in a visible location in your home. In case of accidental ingestion, call for help immediately. Monitor medication usage. Keep track of how much medication is in each container to detect if any has gone missing or been tampered with. Set a good example. Always take your own medications responsibly and demonstrate proper medication storage and disposal habits. Remember, prevention is the key to ensuring medication safety around children. By following these guidelines, you can help reduce the risk of accidental ingestion and create a safer environment for everyone.
If you are moved by this story and want to hear more incredible rescues and discover powerful insights on how to prevent childhood accidents, you can find Lessons from the Sky, Life Flight Rescues, and the Fight for Child Safety on Amazon and most online bookstores in either audio or book format. Every story in Lessons from the Sky holds a valuable lesson. Some are filled with hope and happy endings, while others serve as heartbreaking reminders of why child safety is so important. Lessons from the Sky is the perfect gift for new and expecting parents, or anyone who wants to stay ahead of potential safety hazards. Emotional engagement drives action. Let these stories touch your heart and inspire you to protect the children in your life.